Today I'm going to go over my quarterly refresh, so go over the goals that I achieved in the last quarter, so the second quarter of the year, April, May and June, talk about some goals that I've got for the next quarter of the year, and then also how my financials are looking in this quarter. The first thing that I'll go over is the things that I've achieved. I'll first start with just my wins in general. I want to reflect on the things that I think have gone well, and they're not always things that I put down as a goal for the quarter. The first is that I started a YouTube channel. Definitely didn't think going into April that I was going to start a YouTube channel at the end of it, but it's something that I now love to do. It's a great hobby that I've got on top of working. So I think this is one of my biggest achievements, is also seeing a little bit of success from it as well. The next is getting a job for September. As I've said in previous videos, I wasn't super keen to stay at my current school, and I was able to find a job that I'm excited about that I can start in September for my first full year of teaching. And also I finished my teacher training, so I got signed off. I'm now a fully qualified teacher, and that is another really big achievement that I achieved in this quarter. Not only did I start a YouTube channel, but I also created the YNAB tag, which has gone pretty crazy in the YNAB community. I think there are now maybe 13 or 14 videos that different creators have made inspired by the tag. I also got YNAB Official involved, the budget nerds who I love so much and listen to in my free time. They got involved in the tag, and I actually got to hear my name being said in a podcast, which was so surreal. And yeah, I mean, I'm still buzzing from that. I want to re-listen to the episode, just the fact that they actually watched my video and referenced the things that I said. I mean, it's something that I wouldn't have been able to tell me would happen by the end of the quarter at the beginning. So something that's really cool, and I will treasure for the rest of the year. A few others are I visited family. So I visited my aunt recently, and this is not so easy in this sort of day and age for me, as I'm busy. It costs money to go and see family, but it's something that I want to prioritize, especially this year and going forward. So being able to carve out the time to go and spend time with family is really important to me. I also finished 2 books, which isn't my, I finished way more in the first quarter, but you know what, 2 books is good enough for me. It's better than 0, and it has gotten me back into reading. So finished 2 books and I'm feeling good about that. I also have started hanging out with friends from my training group. So yeah, I mean, I think other sort of early to mid 20-year-olds know that it's difficult to make friends when you finish university, especially if you move away from university and you don't really have anyone from there close anymore. So I have definitely been trying to make friends with people, not even just my age, but in general, and then kind of crossing that barrier into hanging out outside of where you met them. So that has happened a couple of times, and something that might be embarrassing to admit, but not for me, because I'm really proud of myself, and it's something that as an introvert, it's not so easy to make friends and to actually push myself to go and hang out with them, but it has added a lot of joy to my life. Now moving on to my quarter goals. These are goals that I set myself at the beginning of April and wanted to achieve by the end of June. The first one was to buy a car, which I did a couple of weeks into April, and the freedom is insane. I am so happy that I've got a car now. And first of all, it was just a big financial achievement to be able to pay for one, but also just having the freedom to be able to drive around again. I mean, I've been driving since I was 17, so, or actually no, since I was 16, because I got my license in America first. So I've been driving since then, and this is the 6th car I've owned, but for a few years I hadn't been driving and I hadn't had a car because for various reasons I lived in a university town that I didn't need one, and then I couldn't afford one. So here we are. It's great to have a car again, and it has also opened up some other doors to different hobbies that I could do, and obviously also hanging out with friends as well who don't live super close to me. The next one was to join a gym I like. Now I did tick this one, and I did join a gym that I knew I was gonna like, but yeah, if you watched my last video, my finances are changing and my situation in terms of housing is changing, so I can't go to that gym, but I would really like to find another gym that I want to go to when I've sort of finalized when I'm moving and where. So that will come in the next few months, but at the moment I ticked it, but then it's kind of like, oh, I don't want to untick it because I did go to the trouble to actually find one and sign up. But yeah, there we go. The next one is to set up therapy, which I kind of did do. I'm on the wait list, so I'm supposed to be doing it in September, but again, with the housing situation, I'm not sure if that's going to go ahead. So if you see my goals later in the video, that will be part of that as well. set up my car loan and my car fund. So I did this when I got the car. I got a loan for half of the car payment. So that is set up and I paid the minimum every month. And then also my car maintenance fund. That is, to pay for repairs. So I have had that established and also been contributing to it every month. I've had to dip into it quite heavily, but that is what it's there for. So the last one is to have 25 YouTube subscribers, which I added when I started my channel, and I ended the quarter with, I think, 125. So 100 more than I wanted, which is so awesome. And I'm about to hit 200. So very exciting stuff here. I mean, I never would have guessed that I would have grown that much in such a short space of time. So it's really nice to have that achievement ticked off and then, an extra 400%. Now I'm going to go into my quarterly goals for the third quarter of the year. So these are the goals that I want to have achieved by the end of September. The first one is to hit 600 subscribers. This may be an ambitious goal to some, but I think seeing the growth that I've had so far, I think it's doable, especially if I stick to my 2 long form videos a week and then also my shorts as well. As soon as I go on summer holidays, I'll be able to get back to posting 3 or 4 of those a week, if not more. The next one is to start therapy. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this yet, but it's still on there because I think it will be really important for me. So that's just kind of to motivate myself that if I can't have the service that I've got established, then I need to set it up wherever I move to. The next one is to visit my grandparents. Again, I want to get around and see my family. It's a little bit difficult. I've got plans that are happening with my grandma in August, so I'm hoping to see my granddad at some point too. The next is to do a 10K race. I had a couple people who were giving me suggestions for goals that I should do to get myself back into my fitness. I've been finding it really hard, to be honest. So I think I really want to do a 10K race in September, which will get me back into that sort of training pattern for it. So I think if I look for a race that I can do and then start training for it, that would be a goal that I can hit. I just really want to get back into running. It's so good for me, and I do enjoy it when I'm, doing it consistently. It's hard to keep stopping and starting, but I do want to have a fitness goal because I do want to get back to it. The next is to find a place to rent. This might happen, I'm hoping, in September, but if it happens in October too, that's fine. But yeah, again, having to go back into the renting world. So I'm hoping that my boyfriend and I can find somewhere in September that we like and that we want to move to. We know the area that we want to move to. So now it's just getting the money together and finding the right place. Lastly, I want to join a choir, which is one of my New Year's resolutions, but like I said, I've been hanging out with some new people, and one of the girls also did choir when they were in school. So we decided that we were going to join one together. So we're just waiting to see where I end up geographically, and then we can find somewhere that's close to both of us. So those are sort of my lifestyle goals, and now we're going to have a look at how I did financially in the second quarter. I'm just going to touch on the sections briefly because really you can just look, I'll put the numbers on the screen and you can just see how I did. The first one was my utilities. Everything was pretty much to the target, but I spent less on my electricity, which is positive, and I think, we just weren't using sort of like heating and things, and yeah, we were really good on the electricity, and I think we had some credit left over, so yeah, we spent a bit less on electricity, which always helps. Then for my car, I spent less on petrol than I predicted, but then also with my car maintenance fund, I saved a good amount, but then I also spent it a lot that I wasn't expecting. So yeah, that kind of evened out a little bit, but I definitely spent some stuff that I wasn't expecting to get my car repaired. For subscriptions, that was all pretty much the same. I mean, I really messed around with having a running app subscription. I dipped in, then dipped out, then dipped in again. And to be honest, it was a big waste of money. I need to just be ready to get back into it before I actually subscribe to those things. So yeah. Then in terms of my essential costs, I spent less on grocery, but honestly, by the skin of my teeth. We did pretty well overall for groceries, but it is increasing. And I think, to be honest, that's just because we're not being as frugal with it and we're allowing ourselves some treats. So we'll see how it looks in the next quarter. I also have kind of figured out the correct targets for other things. So for household, I know that we spend about £10 a month, so I've changed that. And then also toiletries, I know I spend about £35 a month. And then supplements I'm going to get rid of when we combine income and when we start renting. Actually, I'm going to get rid of it next month. I'm probably still going to get magnesium, which is about £10 every 2 months. But in general, I think we're going to get rid of, or I'm going to get rid of supplements, because the gut bacteria I get is expensive. And to be honest, I haven't noticed enough difference to keep that going. Fun money is a bit all over the place, but to be honest, I like to not have targets for this, because I like to kind of see what's going to go on in the month and just split my paycheck, which I've talked about in other videos. And so I have a specific percentage of my income that goes towards fun, and then I just kind of divvy it out based on what I feel and what I want to do. This month we spent a lot on social and also on dates. So this month being July. So it will look a bit different in this next quarter, and especially when we go to combining income, because when we combine income, we'll get an equal amount of fun money that goes to each of us, and then we can just spend it however we want. So I may or may not be tracking that, we'll see. All in all, my total expenses is a little bit more than my target, but for various reasons this has happened. Now kind of going into reflecting on how I feel financially for this quarter, I feel like I've had such a massive shift in my finances in terms of just being more prepared. So really getting into the YNAB philosophy and the budgeting software, I feel like I know exactly where my money is going, what it's doing. I feel like I've got a massive handle on it. I can plan big goals. I can plan fun things. I just feel like I'm able to feel secure, but also just have fun as well. And it's reflected in my budget. It's reflected in my budget with me's and my reviews. So yeah, I'm feeling good financially in that way. But obviously going into this next quarter, I am feeling stressed because it's a new chapter. It's hard to save up this money. I really am just worried that we're not gonna have the money in time and might have to take a loan and things like this. So it's all just gonna be preparing as best I can, but I really am trying to enjoy my summer holidays. And when they get here next week, I want to be able to go and do things, have experiences, because I couldn't do that last year. I didn't have a car, I didn't have many hobbies, I don't really have the money to go and do stuff either. So I'm gonna really try to actually do stuff during the summer holidays, but then also feel like I'm preparing for my future. So yeah, I think overall I'm feeling positive financially. I think I definitely am just in a better position of understanding what I need my money to do, and to not impulse spend, and to just go day to day and feel good about it. So that is my quarter review. The last thing that I'm going to talk about, if you've made it this far, I think you would really enjoy my membership group. So it's called Niamh's Inner Circle, and basically you get extra free content. So it's through Ko-fi, it's in my description. You can donate to the channel, just £3, or you can join a £5 membership. So every month you will get a complete bare bones, honest financial kind of overview of my finances and what I think is going well, what I don't think is going well, kind of an update on my life as well. You will get that. You will also get free downloadable content that you will always have access to. At the moment on there is my financial planner. So that includes your tracking your goals, a month ahead tracker, and then also my checklist for YNAB that I use every month. And then I also have the opportunity for you to send in your financial questions, and obviously I'm not a financial advisor, but you will get a video response from me, just basically how I would go about it and what I would do. And also it's just a way for us to all support each other and to share our goals and to keep each other accountable. So it's really just a nice community space. I would love to see you there if you want to. Of course, it's optional. But that is it, guys. Please let me know what your quarterly goals are, what you achieved in the last quarter in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.